Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Yoga for Skaters YouTube channel. My name is Ace, your friend in yoga and off skates training, and as part of this month's back health focus, I have a simple, strong practice for you today. Our simple, strong practice means that we are focusing on strength and we're really keeping it simple. So I've just got a few exercises here for us that will target the core and the back, and then we'll build us up to some balance. So you don't need anything for this practice here today. We're going to start lying on our back. So let's go ahead and meet on the mat. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to get started lying on our back here. So go ahead and come to lie on your back. We're going to take the legs long. We'll start with a few good morning stretches just to wake up the spine. So as you inhale, reach up overhead, point the toes. And then as you exhale, maybe bringing one knee in at a time. So you get both knees in, rounding the spine. Give yourself a hug. You made it. And then again, inhale, reach up overhead. And exhale, bring it in. Beautiful. One more time, just like that. Inhale, reach. And exhale, last time to round and bring it in. Perfect. And then go ahead and relax from here. So we're going to start with what are called dead bugs. We're going to target the core. As we know, if we've got a strong core, then we can use our front core when we need to and let our back have a rest when it needs to, and vice versa. But sometimes, most of the time, we need all 360 degrees of our core. So let's start with this one. Go ahead and bring the knees over the hips, toes to the sky, and then hands to the ceiling. So from here, go ahead and find that tone through the lower abdominals. We'll bring the ribs together and down. So the core is strong, the spine is neutral. As you inhale, go ahead and reach the left arm overhead and the right leg out in front. Exhale, back to center. Beautiful. Inhale, right arm overhead, left leg lengthens, and then bring it back to center. Beautiful. So we'll keep going here and know that you can lower that heel as much as you need to, or keep it as high as you need to. And our goal is to maintain that nice neutral spine with that front core engagement, right? Beautiful. So keeping it going side to side. If you can focus on your breath and the movement at the same time, that's great. But if you're just getting started and you want to just focus on the movement, that is also fine. But definitely you want to make sure you're breathing, right? Good. Perfect. We've just got a few more on each side here. Good. Let's take one more time each side. Lengthening. Bring it back to center. Last time, reach it overhead. And back to center. Beautiful. Go ahead and hug those knees to your chest. Take a deep belly breath. And rock it a little side to side. And then as you're ready, let's go ahead and start to find that rocking, hands behind the knees, rocking forward and back. Good. And forward and back. Nice. Until you can rock your way all the way up. And we are just going to flip it around and come to lie on your belly. Perfect. So very similar to what we just did on our back, we're going to do on our belly. So take those arms overhead. You can let the forehead rest on your mat. And then from here, we're going to start to target opposite arm, opposite leg. You're going to lift the left thumb, engage the right glute to lift the right leg. Perfect. And then release. Yeah. Same thing, second side. Lifting and lowering. Nice. Keep it going. Lifting and lowering. Good. Lifting and lowering. Yeah, so as we're doing opposite arm, opposite leg, We're starting to build that muscle at the mid to low back. We're also building some coordination from the upper extremities to the lower extremities. And then also taking a nice opportunity to feel that glute squeeze. Yeah. So important that we've got strong glutes as roller skaters to keep our low backs healthy. Good. Nice. So we've just got a few more here. Good. Last 3. Nice. Last 2. Good. Let's get that last one. Lift and lower. Beautiful. From here, go ahead and just stack your hands. Rest the forehead on the backs of the hands. And if you just want to wiggle out the hips a little bit, go ahead and do that. Nice and simple, nice and easy. Perfect. And so just as a moment to rest before our next back exercise, bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Go ahead and roll the shoulders down and back, engage the shoulder blades, and just lift the heart ever so slightly. Hands can be light, or you can think of kind of pulling the mat towards the hips for a little more lift. And then exhale all the way down. Perfect. So this next exercise, you can bring the arms along the side body, or you can take them overhead. Let's start with the arms along the side body first. As you inhale, we're going to lift the heart and the legs. So both glutes engaged, heart lifts, and then right back down. Nice. So let's go for a few more here. Lifting and lowering. Good. Lifting, paying attention to the tone from side to side on each side of the body. Can we keep that tone nice and even? Good. Let's get our last 3. And if you want to take those arms overhead for these last 3, go ahead. We're lifting and lowering. Good. Lifting and lowering. Nice. Last one. Go ahead and lift and lower. Perfect. Go ahead and stack those hands. Rest the forehead. And a little wiggle through the hips if you need it. Breathe it out. Good. Taking a little rest between each exercise. From here, go ahead and slide the hands under the shoulders. Tuck the toes. And just press your way back to tabletop position. Nice. Take an inhale here in tabletop. As you exhale, you can tuck the toes, find that tone in the belly like we did for our dead bugs, lift the hips up and back, and we'll find downward facing dog. Yeah, so with those locust pose variations that we just did, we're using the glutes, we're using the hamstrings, and so we'll take this moment in down dog just to give the back body a stretch, a moment to lengthen. Perfect. Take one more inhale here. And as you exhale, go ahead and bend the knees. We'll come right back to that tabletop position. Awesome. So we're going to kind of put it all together. We'll keep the belly engaged. We're going to find some tone through the back body. And we'll take opposite arm, opposite leg, lifting here. And as you lift from here, we don't so much need to think about finding that kind of boat pose through the back body. We'll think about finding length. Good. Bring the arm and the leg down. Same thing, second side. Reach, opposite arm, opposite leg, and bring it down. Nice. Keep it going. So still nice, strong core. Glute is engaged of that lifted leg. Good. And then seeing if we can keep the pelvis and the low back nice and neutral as we move from side to side. Perfect. Yes. There we go. Let's go ahead and get 2 more. 1 more each side. Lift and lower. Yeah, lifting and lowering. Good. And then this time, let's push it back to child's pose. So send the tailbone towards the heels, forehead resting on your mat. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Perfect. One more inhale here. As you exhale, go ahead and pull your way forward, tuck those toes, lift all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Perfect. Inhale here in down dog. And exhale, lengthening the tailbone, feeling that stretch through the hamstrings. Yeah, next inhale, look in between the hands. And then tiptoe your way all the way up to the top of your mat. We'll take a nice, easy forward fold. Good. Go ahead and grab opposite elbows. Find a little sway from side to side. Yes. Ah, very nice. Good. So go ahead and relax the arms. Press through the bottoms of the feet. And we're going to slowly roll your way all the way up to standing. As you find your way into that standing position, go ahead and see if you can find that strong core here. Yeah. All right. So our last exercise here for today that's going to challenge our balance and bring everything together is going to be these standing bird bobs, okay? So the way we'll do this, we'll start by just bringing the hands to the hips. Core is engaged. We'll bring that right knee up about hip height. So what we're doing here is we're going to stay nice and balanced on the left standing leg, and we'll hinge at the hips, start to send the right heel back. Keep that right knee bent if you need to, or straighten the leg, coming as much towards that T shape as feels good in your body, and then drawing it all back up together, right back to stand. Perfect. Here we go again. Hinging at the hips, send that right heel back, find your bird bob, which puts us in our, that's right, warrior 3. Good. And then everything back up to the top. We're going to find 3 more. Go ahead and hinge. And if you're moving at a different pace than I am, that is okay. Bring it back up. Yeah. Last 2. Also keeping in mind that you can bend that standing leg if you need to, if that hamstring is tight, which mine very much is today. Good. Last one here. Reach that right leg back. Heart forward, crown of the head forward, and then all the way back up to stand and relax that right leg. Beautiful. All right, let's do the same thing on the second side. So just 5 reps here. Slow and controlled, feeling your way through the movement. Left knee comes to chest. Perfect. And then here we go. We'll hinge for that first rep. Again, bending the standing knee if you need to, driving the foot down, gathering the core as you come back to stand. Nice. Here we go for our second one. Perfect. Bring it up. Very nice. Here we go for our third one. Hinging. And I am keeping my cues at a minimum here as I work to balance and stay engaged myself. Good. We've just got 2 more. Reach the heel back, crown of the head forward, back to center. Yeah. One more time. Find that hinge. And right back up. Very nice. Perfect. Relax the left leg. And then as you're ready, let's take an inhale, reach up and look up. Exhale, send both hips back, forward fold. Good. So let this be a moment to recover those hamstrings. They do a lot of work in those bird dogs, RDLs, whatever you like to call them. In yoga, we call that warrior 3. And then just letting the back round as well. As we keep the core strong and we hinge, our back is fighting against gravity. Our core is fighting against gravity, keeping us strong. Good. Next, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Plant the hands. Step back to high plank position. Inhale in your high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale in your down dog. Exhale, lengthening the tailbone. Good. Next, inhale. Send the right leg up and back. Stack the hips. Bend the right knee. Take a moment here. A lot of forward and back type motion. So we will just round out our practice with a little hip opener. Reaching the right leg back to three-legged dog. Go ahead and bring that right knee in between the hands. We'll set up for pigeon pose. You can untuck the back toes. Grab whatever props feel good for you. And just briefly noting that we want to try to keep those hip points pointed towards the front of your mat. So if you notice you're kind of drifting to one side or the other, can you bring it back? And then, because this is our cool down, go ahead and come into that sleeping pigeon variation. You can let the forehead rest on the backs of the hands, breathing into the right glute, breathing into the front of the left hip. Yeah, so our hard work physically is done. But from here, we can continue to stay aware of the inhales, of the exhales, as well as any changes in the sensation of the body as you let go of tension and find a little more space in the back, the hips, the glutes. Good. One more inhale here. And exhale. From here, go ahead and take your time, walking the hands back up under the shoulders. Let's go ahead and step it back to downward facing dog. Perfect. Inhale in your down dog. Exhale, bending the knees perhaps to find a little more length through the tailbone. Yeah, and then inhale, left leg up and back. And stacking the hips, bend the left knee, opening it up. Beautiful. Full inhale here. Exhaling back to three-legged dog. Left knee in between the hands. Let's find our way into that pigeon on the second side. So you'll notice that due to, some limitations for tightness, anatomy, whatnot, there is some space between my left glute and the floor, and that's totally fine. If that space is doesn't feel supported for you, you can always put a blanket, a block, or anything under there. But as you fold forward, you might find that the lift isn't as bothersome, but definitely take whatever props or supports feel good for you. Like I said, this is our cool down from our strength, so we do want to take advantage of the moment, the opportunity to soften. Yeah, inhaling. And exhaling. Good. Full inhale here. Full exhale. Maybe feeling some release through that left side low back. Maybe noticing any tension through the left glute, easing up. Good. Take one more deep breath here. And as you exhale, go ahead and gently begin to find your way back up. Good. And this time, we're going to sink over to the left hip and swing that right leg around. So we'll extend both legs straight out in front. And we'll just close out this practice with an easy forward fold. And by easy, I mean just passive, not that it is an easy stretch by any means. So for this one, go ahead and take your thumbs, bring them into your hip creases, and as you come into your forward fold, just think of pressing those hip creases down and in towards your midline. So thumbs press down and in so that you've got even more space for the pelvis to hinge over those thigh bones. Once you get where you want to be, belly to the thighs, you can then start to bring the hands to the knees, the shins, the ankles, or the feet. And in this particular forward fold, we're stretching the hamstrings, right? And by bringing some length into the hamstrings, we can bring a little more length through the low back, maybe even ease up some tension in the low back. Nice. So we'll take 2 more breaths from here, inhaling and exhaling. Yeah, 1 more deep inhale here. Filling the low back with breath. 1 more full exhale, maybe sinking a little deeper into your stretch. Beautiful. And then take your time. You can use the hands perhaps to help you find your way up. Nice. And then let's go ahead and you can cross the ankles or come to kneeling on your mat. And if it feels safe and comfortable to close the eyes, you can do that. For some of these back health practices, I like to just let my hands rest on the thighs and just continue to encourage kind of that internal rotation of the thigh bones. Go ahead and take an inhale all the way down the length of the spine. And as you exhale, release the breath, flutter the eyes open. All right. Thank you so much for joining me here for this simple, strong practice. Know that by focusing on certain areas of the body, over time, we can see progress. So if any of the exercises in this particular practice felt really good and felt like they are going to support you, I encourage you, create your own practice out of these exercises. If any of these exercises did not feel good and you skipped them today, I'm really proud of you. There's no reason to do something that doesn't feel good in your body, all right? Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.